Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 557 of Geeks in Space. Tonight, we are talking about 2011's blockbuster film Headhunter, and I could not do that without the assistance of Rob Roseboom.
Yeah, that's me.
Chris DeBona.
And that's me. Thank you.
Nate Ostendorp.
Merry Christmas to you all.
All right, let's start. This is not a Christmas movie at all. Chris,
It's got snow.
you failed. I think you failed twice.
Snow in it.
It's recorded in the North Pole, basically.
Yeah, no, it's not a Christmas movie at all, so you should hang your head in shame.
However, there is a scene that shows an alternate route in which Santa might enter your house that we'll get into later.
I had never heard of this movie. I had no idea it existed. I'll spoil it a little by saying I was kind of bored for most of it.
Okay.
But it's got a couple of parts that are fun.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Chris, tell us about the film you selected for us to enjoy this evening.
Well, so Joe Nesbo, the author of the original book, is sort of super famous in sort of mystery / crime fiction circles. And when they decided to make this movie in 2010, crime fiction readers like my wife were extremely excited. And so this was also sort of when we finally saw it was a couple of years after it came out, and everyone was excited about Game of Thrones. We're like, Jamie Lannister's in this, holy crow, right?
Kingslayer.
So, yeah, and watching it, it's one of those movies that when I watched it, at least, I had a lot of fun because it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's engaging.
It's definitely one of those movies where the main character does not make things better for himself.
No.
His actions at all. It
No.
reminds me a little bit of Uncut Gems, a little
Oh.
that way.
Not a bad comparison.
Yeah, honestly, this should have ended like Uncut Gems did, but well, all right.
I mean, it starts off right off at the beginning. Like, you do not like your protagonist at all.
Oh no, he's a
like,
terrible person.
He's a
just
garbage person.
He's a garbage person.
So that's a hard hill to get over for a movie, and they do not achieve it. They literally drag this man through shit, and you still don't give a crap about him when it's done.
You're like, yeah, he deserves it.
Yep.
Probably. All right. I got the title screen up. Let's pop over.
This is
we're gonna have some issues with fast forwarding real quick through some scenes.
yeah, there's a lot of butts.
There's a lot of
and
butts.
things.
I did want to note, as I strobe through this here, I have a nice espresso machine, and I've been trying to learn how to do the fancy hearts and stuff in my espresso machine for as long as I've owned an espresso machine, and I can't do it, and it makes me furious.
You know why? Those aren't hearts, those are butts.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair enough.
So this is the beginning of the movie where he's bragging about his station in life and that he can't really afford it, but because he feels like he can't afford his wife, who deserves very, very nice things. And he mentions that his house is 30 million and he can't afford it. But I figured it was kroner, right? So it's really 3.5 million. So that's what I wanted to say.
So it's still the equivalent of like 25 houses.
In Michigan, yeah, in extra Michigan. Yeah.
Well, you know, where people live.
Or half a house in Palo Alto.
Half a house. You
No,
live
you get a
somewhere
house for
fancy.
yeah, you get a house for them. Just not, not in Crescent Park.
It would not be a good house. All right.
Oh, I hate this guy so much.
This is
All
you,
right,
Rob.
Zen.
I was just gonna say, being a Flandrian high-end art thief, as Johnny Casper would say, ain't all gravy. This is where you begin to figure out all the shit he has to go through to maintain his lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
You also spend most of this sequence, or the first 10 minutes of this movie, deciding if you dislike this man or just hate him and everything he stands for, which is tough. I landed on the side of I don't like him. I know that's controversial.
No, it's not. He's a very dislikable person,
He's
and he's in a
also,
dislikable profession, and he's doing
Yeah.
all the. So for the people who haven't seen this, who are watching this in some future hellscape world, this is about a headhunter, literally a recruiter, an executive recruiter, and I'm sure all of us, or many of us, have encountered people like this. They're like, no, I'm going to market you. I am your conduit to success, and it's like you're a parasite. Screw off, you know.
also he complains about being short all the time.
Well, that's
I
like
know.
how he introduces himself and how the movie closes. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
5'6",
And I'm
and
okay with it.
I was like, great. I mean, okay, you're
Clearly, in
5'6".
the Nordic countries, that's
Well,
really
the average
significant.
height of a man in Oslo is, let's see, what's 180 centimeters?
I'm guessing 5'11".
It
6'1".
is 5'9". That, oh no, that's for boys. I need men.
Men.
All right, well,
So yeah, his height thing, like I get it. Like they're telling us that he has small junk, and he's feels bad about that, and he has a hot girlfriend that he can't afford. And they spend a lot of the movie. I guess that's supposed to let us justify the fact that he's literally just a thief.
yeah, and like all the quote art in his office is like it's basically the tennis art from Matt Berry's office in the IT crowd. You know, it's like here's sexy girl art and look at how successful I am art, and it's like, ugh, you're.
I will
gross,
say
dude.
it's not a bad setup for actually what he's doing, right? It's a
Yeah.
good way. It's actually a very good way of
I-
figuring out when someone's not going to be around and what they have in their house. And yada,
No,
yada.
I was actually expecting there to be a lot more art thieving than there actually was
Yeah.
in this film.
There's kind of only two,
And-
really, right?
Yeah.
Here is my third favorite character in the movie.
Yep.
I love this guy.
Not long for this movie though.
Well,
Wait.
let's not ruin it. We'll get there soon. We can ruin it soon.
All right.
So he's in a data center and he pulls out one of these 1U workstations. And I remember the first time I saw one, which was maybe like 2007, 2008. And I was just like, oh, that's so cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Data center toys, man.
Realistically, no one uses those. It's all wired up now.
It's a horrible way to do it.
Yep. You don't walk to the computers ever. Unless you're taking them out to throw them in the garbage.
I mean, that happens. There's ball lightning, so you constantly have to be repairing your servers.
And here he is, the Kingslayer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kingslayer.
It actually, I did a couple takes on this one because at first I thought, no, that's not him. And then I'm like, oh, no, wait, that's actually Jamie Lannister. And then I looked him up and I had no idea he was Nordic, Danish.
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The weird thing is when they introduced the cop here pretty soon, I thought that was Mance Raider too. And I thought, holy cow, who else from Game of Thrones is going to be in this movie? But I was wrong. It's a different
But
actor. It just looks a lot
I
like
think all the actors are like super popular in Oslo, in the Nordic lands, you know. So, and that's how he made the jump to major Game of Thronesiness, you know.
My problem with him, I suppose, is that he was dubbed, and I don't think he's dubbing his own voice, and that made him really hard to watch.
I agree.
And I mean, he's fine. He's a support role. It's not like that big of a thing.
Oh, he's pretty. Well, I sort of wondered why they didn't have him do his own voice in the voiceover, you know. But
Yeah, but he's not like, he's an important character, but there's clearly a star here.
I would say he's probably one of the main characters, right?
yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, for sure.
You only get I don't know what the Directors Guild or what the guild rules are. They would definitely rule that 5'6" is a lead, and I think that they would put him as a supporting, but I don't know. There's like rules for how they define that. I don't know
Yes.
that
You
they
wouldn't
are.
want to break any rules.
No. I think that a movie's only allowed one lead, maybe? There's a rule, and like that it comes up every Academy Awards about what the rules are for when you're a supporting and
You
when you're a
know,
lead.
We can make our own rules here, Rob.
All right.
I mean, I think that like the Academy, we're for white people, so we can just choose the white person.
Right.
Ouch.
So the thing I said here, so at 14:45, so you don't actually have to hit play or whatever, but yeah, go ahead and hit play for 5 seconds.
Shot
Go.
a few days later. She panicked, fearing someone would discover the relationship.
And then she hid the painting.
Okay.
Something
So you have to realize in Norway, okay, like being connected to the Nazis or seeing benefit from the Nazi occupation and attacks on the country. I mean, no, you would just be like, take the fucking painting. I'm out. Right. Because like people to this day, like are like, they get really, this is like go to jail type shit. Like, you know, after the war, if you were found to have had an affair with a Nazi, like they would at best cut your hair off and throw you out of town without any clothes. Most of the time they would just kill you. You know, it's like this was no joke. So the idea that somebody has this, you know, painting left over from the Nazis, it's like, oh no, I'm out. You know, so
well, I mean,
you're so stupid.
He's an unsavory fellow to begin with, so he's going to be dealing in garbage things because he's a garbage person.
He is a garbage person.
He is a garbage person. I did not like the fact that the painting was just sitting there, like on the ground, like in a frame or whatever. Like that didn't seem respectful, whether it's real art or not. Like if you have $100 million object, you're not just leaving it on the floor like that. Like nobody's that dumb. Yeah. So all my bullshit alarms went off.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is if you play a little bit, his operative here is is running around with his prostitute girlfriend, shooting blanks at each other, and I just thought that was delightful.
I thought that role play was fantastic.
Yeah.
I pretended to giggling, and little did I know it would actually become important that happened.
Later.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Chekhov's blanks, and it wasn't a statement on the guy's sexual potency. So yeah,
I mean, might have been.
Might have been. Yeah.
All right, so yep, you live with a hot girlfriend. She wants babies. You don't like babies. Blah blah blah.
House.
Well, to be fair, I don't think babies would like him either.
I don't think anyone likes him.
I don't think
because
humans
he
like
is
him.
About their size, right? So
he's down there and there with the same pressure.
It just play a little bit.
Was interrupted by a Russian prostitute.
Yeah. So he says, like I tried to say before I was interrupted by a Russian prostitute, which I think should be really idiomatic business speak for whenever people talk over each other on a Zoom call. Like that should just be how you say, "Hey, shut up! It's my turn to talk."
it should be at least the quote on the poster for this movie, right? At least one of them.
Ugh.
So what's interesting is I watch this now with you guys. Is I did not watch the dubbed version.
Ah.
So this sounds like I think I understand why you like this less. I hate the voices they've chosen so far.
Yeah.
So you found a subtitled one.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
So he talks about his dog being in quarantine and it being 2020. I was like in quarantine. And then it took me like 10 full seconds to think about why would his dog be in quarantine for COVID?
Right.
And then I realized, oh yeah, no, they just quarantine pets so they don't have bad stuff. So yeah, it's one of those things where the words in quarantine just are way different now.
I was listening to a podcast recently that they were talking about how you measure happiness on Twitter. And they had the thing that they called the hedometer or the hedonism meter or something like that. And they were talking about how words change in meaning over time. and how some words, they might mean you're happy or sad depending on the era in which they're used. And the example that they used was the word thirsty. Because somewhere like around 2017, 2018, the meaning of the word thirsty became horny, which means it became, like on Twitter anyway, a word, like a positive word, like I'm thirsty for that guy. Like that became like a thing that people used. And I wonder if quarantine is kind of in the same thing. Like that's there's more than a decade of difference between that person using the word quarantine and us using the word quarantine. Oh God, I hated this man.
Yeah, but even though all the things I know about Jaime Lannister, he's still like if he had played the main character, he could have charmed you into liking him, even though
With
he
his
was a
own
terrible
voice.
garbage person. With his own voice.
Yeah. So this is one point where he has these scars on his back, and he says he got them in the army. And I just had to kind of be like, the Dutch army? Like what operations are the Netherlands getting into?
Hey,
The best kind.
don't knock our ancestors.
So this goes back from my perspective of this, like just in the news today, there are stories about Blackwater and Eric Prince. And I was actually, my interpretation of this, and this was before I read about the pardons. I watched the movie this morning and then heard about the pardons this afternoon. My interpretation of this is that this guy is sort of an Eric Prince type person, or like a high up operative at Blackwater. So my interpretation was not that he was in an army; it was that he was performing paramilitary
He was a mercenary.
operations. Yeah, mercenary. That was my interpretation. But that said, it was. I could have missed it.
No, he's supposed to be special forces.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
I got
special nano tracker technology.
I got the impression
that
that
was,
Hota was more military.
Hoot.
Hoot.
So Roseboom, in the movie with the subtitles, was it Hota or was it Hoot?
They never said the name that I can remember.
Oh man, that's disappointing. I'll be right back.
They just showed the pen.
They showed the pen a lot.
So in this scene, he's stealing the painting, and he calls his wife for some reason from this guy's house because, cell phone tracking, and his wife's phone is by the bed.
Dun, dun,
And
dun.
obviously she's sleeping with him. Like, the movie could not be more clear on that throughout the first third of the film. Yeah.
Maybe it could be more clear, but it's
Well-
certainly clear enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
so I'm straight and stuff, but he is Jaime Lannister. I mean,
Right.
Exactly.
He's a hunky
And
man.
So
He is
I
a hunk of
I
man.
thought that his expression of surprise was more because his wife had a Nokia phone.
So it was 2010/2009 when they filmed it, right? So Android had just come out. Nokia was still top of the heap, man. So the iPhone hadn't even come out yet, really. So
2012.
Yeah, there's actually a BlackBerry in here that I own.
yeah. And remember, right? This is the home. Finland is 20 minutes that way from where they're living, and a lot of the development of the Nokias go on down in Tampere. So it's like, Nokia was the country brand. It'd be like us, I don't know, watching a lot of, curling or something.
I found this sequence to be kind of confusing because it's not particularly clear that his buddy had been poisoned.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You figure it out later.
Yeah,
I
it's
actually-
only when he gets him back home, they're like, "Oh, that thing that he picked up and was messing around with, that was like some sort of syringe that was hidden in his seat."
Yeah.
I actually looked it up in the Wikipedia. This was like the point in the movie where I was like, wait a minute, I'm missing what happened. And he was poisoned. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought Jamie had just broken his neck and left him in the car because he knew he had went to steal his painting.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, the only thing I said is at 3812 was you show him pick up the pin injector thing, and it's like, that's no fun.
Well, she's got to rub his hair a lot.
Yep.
So the other thing I was going to point out, if you think about it, so if he sat on the pin thing after Ove sat on the pin thing, he has all of Ove's Russian prostitute STDs.
Mm. Time to go
This
hang
is
out.
hilarious.
I love
This
this
is such a
scene.
funny
Yeah.
scene. He throws him in the water and he wakes up. It's like, oh crap!
Oh, surprise!
He
That
has
might have
to
been
jump in and save him.
Yeah.
that might have been the first time in the movie where it's like, oh, I'm kind of enjoying this part. That's funny. I
Yeah,
didn't know.
this is actually about where the movie took a turn for me, and I enjoyed the shenanigans, I guess.
Yeah, it started getting super shenanigan-y.
Yeah,
That's a word.
I guess my problem
But
is
this is also when the just freaking laundry list of terrible decisions start. You know,
Oh, totally.
yeah.
Well,
Although,
let's pause here. Let's make sure.
and then in a twist, it's all premeditated.
Yeah,
But
somehow.
Is keeping your ammo in the fridge a thing, or is that just weird? Because I saw
Well-
this and I'm like, that's a lot of ammo.
he
And
has,
like,
he has that scene earlier in the movie where he's complaining that he has guns laying around, and he's like,
sure,
there are guns
every room.
hidden all over this house.
yeah,
You're always within range of a gun, which I appreciate because I have a similar rule at my house, but it's with medieval weapons. So, as Rob and Nate
halberd in
can
every
attest
house.
to, there you would be surprised where there's a flail hidden in the Roseboom
Yeah.
house.
I suspect that if we like during a random episode of Geeks in Space, like said go, we could probably all come back with a reasonable weapon in each hand within a matter of seconds. Because I have swords too. I mean,
yeah. Never more than 2 paces away from a morning star.
Got some serious knives over here, but they're more for like cutting stuff. in the
they're
shop.
cooking knives, not murder knives. Not for like the weirdest, lamest stabbings.
Right.
I don't know if anybody put that timestamp in. I did not, but yeah, I actually had the same question. Do you keep bullets in the fridge? Is that even normal at all?
Well, I think that so my thinking was this: in the Nordic countries, it gets very cold outside, so our fridges actually heaters as well. Like, so maybe he's keeping his ammo warm to a brisk 36 degrees Fahrenheit.
As you want, the hotter your ammo, the better.
Right?
Well, you don't want to put it in the sauna.
Sauna. Yes. Man, this
We're
show.
getting close.
There's
It
this
gets so shenanigans.
Yeah, there's this part where he's stripping to get rid of all the transmitters, and he looks at his ring and he's like, and I like, it's not a sympathetic protagonist. You're just like, look, you're cheating on your wife.
God damn it. Chris, your movie privileges are revoked.
Why do I
I
care?
really like this movie. You're crazy. I liked it.
No, I keep having to fast forward through the butts.
Too many
I
butts for
wondered
you.
where he got those clothes from.
Yeah, that was not explained adequately. Oh, but
No. These are from Ole. Remember, he's
Oh,
wearing the
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Tropicasse or whatever it's called.
And then he steals what, the cop's outfit later?
Yeah.
Well, and all these people are his size too. I might point out.
Well, I think that's my problem with this, is that everything that happens is nonsense, and it feels like you made a deck of like random things that could happen and then drew from the deck as opposed to like scripting anything or thinking about it. But I don't know. Ugh. All right. I think the next one's mine. Oh. Yeah.
So, this is where I just gotta say, nope. Just kill me. I would just die. I'd take my chances. I would be. There's no way you could probably, unless you hit me in the head. There's no way you could end me with one shot. I got a chance. I am not going down in there. Although his commitment with the toilet paper roll in his mouth,
tube, yep,
so that he can breathe through that is,
Here we go.
that man is committed.
And also, are outhouses this deep normally? I don't know. I mean,
A very full one might be one that's really old, but yeah.
Oh, God,
There's the
that's
screenshot.
so gross.
that shot right there, I felt like that's the shot. That should be a poster.
All right,
so
everybody
gross.
point up and make a gross face because this is the title. Ugh.
Ugh.
I'll screenshot that and make that the title slide. That's nasty. And this is the money shot for this movie, really. This whole sequence is some gross filmmaking. Good job.
It's a garbage person being submerged in shit. That is literally the theme.
That poor shit. I mean,
shit.
it's being ruined by this horrible man.
And it's not like he just gets in and gets out either. He's
No.
in there for a while, you know.
Yeah.
And he's covered in it.
How he doesn't like leave stains on everything. Like I would have rolled around on the ground for a while to to get rid of it.
Anything.
But
yeah, he stays in it for a long time. Like there's a lot of shots with it's just on his face.
Yeah, this entire segment of the movie, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna throw up. It's so gross.
Yeah, play this for like 3 seconds here. Attack!
There's the farmer.
Yep. That's the only time you see that cat. It's just all right. Yep.
Still covered in poop. 5 minutes later.
So would you call this brown face or
Nope.
Ooh.
This is poop face.
oh, it's so gross.
Sometimes
Yeah, and
shitty
then that
people
dog
cover
coming
themselves in
after
poop
him?
so they don't seem so horrible.
Yeah, so I guess we skipped for a while. 15, so you got bit by the dog right here on the neck, right?
Mhm.
And if you think about it, he's covered in excrement, right? So
Yeah, dude.
there's no way he doesn't have an infection.
Yeah, that goes septic in a hurry.
Yeah.
My point here is, here he is trying to escape this guy, right? He knows that he can be tracked. So really his best bet is to play it cool and get away as fast as possible. And he is covered in shit, driving a tractor that has a Doggo Argentino speared through the guts on the front of it, down the middle of the highway. Nothing to see here. Way to blend in, dude.
Not suspicious.
Yeah. I had marked the dog part and then I took it out because I'm just like,
Yeah. That is a mean looking dog, though. I guess they're illegal in Oslo. That was the other thing about them.
There's a lot of places they are. They're bred to hunt boars in Argentina.
Wow.
I do kind of want to ride around in a tractor like that in the dark. That seems safe.
Super safe. He's so
right.
pale. That was the thing I watched. I was like, basically, he blends into the
There we
white
go.
paint.
Stop right here.
yep. No.
My two favorite characters in the movie, right there. If
Yep.
these two aren't like in every one of the Scandinavian movies, it is a shame. These two should be in everything.
Did you look them up?
They kind of look like
No.
young Cowboy Neil twins. I gotta
Oh.
say.
A little bit, yeah.
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 I saw them and I'm like, oh my god, I hope their hijinks are wonderful.
Yep.
The Potters.
Unfortunately, I was a little disappointed. They really
Yeah.
don't do a whole lot.
No, they don't.
Gunnar Skramshed Johnson and Lars. It's Gunnar and Lars.
They do have the best lines in the movie for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they have no other credits. They're only in this movie.
All right, let's see if
Okay.
I got the right timestamp for mine because I love
did
this.
like how this guy was talking about how there's 3,000. Oh, you got this.
Martial arts.
You know how many martial arts are out there? 3,000. 3,000.
That guy's intense. 3,000.
And he's wearing a martial arts jacket, so you can tell he's a serious martial artser.
Hey, couldn't have done that if he wasn't 5'6".
Right?
Yep.
Fits in
A
a
little
little.
tiny-
Way to turn your weakness into a strength.
So the lesson for this then is cover yourself in shit and hide in small places. Hey,
Yeah, I just have a hard time believing that Lars and Gunnar couldn't smell him. Because if anyone can smell shit, it'd be those two.
the Potters.
Yeah, this scene. Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I can stand to watch this. I felt so bad that
I felt so bad for
Gunnar
Gunnar
and
and
Lars are
Lars.
about to go.
But I do like how he's yelling, no, he's rubbed transmitters into my hair.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, no, you're crazy.
You got to hit play. We got to hear it.
He has rubbed transmitters into my hair. We have to get out of here. Realize what you're saying?
I think that guy was just using the force to stop the. Yeah, I'm just stopping this truck.
Mm,
And it doesn't work.
Doesn't work at all.
he fails his Jedi mind check.
If you
so-
try to stop a truck with the force and you fail,
This is what
It
happened.
was very interesting to me that when he hits this car, it works like croquet balls, sort of. And the car doesn't. I mean, the car crumples a little bit, but not nearly as much as you would think. Mostly, it just flies.
wait a minute, I missed that shot.
Okay, that's why I said play it for 8 seconds.
What?
Yeah. So
Weird.
4:30. Yeah. So no one survives. This.
Yes.
They're
no.
all tomato paste.
Yeah.
They're Iron Man being thrown against the bus stop. They're dead.
Even nestled between the safety of Lars
I know.
and Gunner.
And Gunner. Yeah.
It does feel like the safest place in the world, I'm sure, in the back seat.
Yeah.
of These guys.
So cozy.
And
Yeah, no, and he rubs blood, their blood all over his face so that Jamie Lannister doesn't think that he's dead. And it's like, man, this guy, there's just like nothing he's not willing to do. You know, he's going to
Well,
be
and
covered
there's
in
a part
crap,
where-
other people's blood. Oh, and this scene is so hard to watch.
Got to
my
shave off the transmitters.
yeah.
He
Yeah, and he's covered in blood.
He almost touches his eye in one point, and he might actually touch his eye. I couldn't quite tell, but yeah, he holds still. There's this dude. Say what you will, he's a crap person, but
He's hardcore, though.
he will do anything.
He'll do what it takes.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Oh, it's so hard to watch this.
that's nasty.
Yeah.
But again, this is the second time now that he's covered in goo, forced to put on somebody else's clothes. It's like, I guess maybe you shuffled the deck of like random bad things that can happen and drew from the same. Oh man, I got a new outfit again.
The other thing that I was surprised at is like, he's shaving off his hair. He puts it into a bag of peanuts back in the car as opposed to just like throwing it in the river. Like there's 100 places where he could put that hair where it would not be recoverable.
Yeah.
I think he wants to save it though. I think that's
So he can put it back on later.
He
The thing
does
is, by
eat
the end of this, I was wondering if somebody had like a peanut allergy, and that was how he was going to kill Jamie Lannister. It was like sudden peanut allergy or something, but that's not what happened.
I
Well,
was kind of wondering what sort of goo he would be covered in next and how it would happen. Like if he had a, sort of, he had to impersonate an elephant midwife
yeah.
next or something like
Yeah,
that.
we've had shit and we've had blood so far.
Thank
So,
God the next scene
yeah,
occurs
I
entirely
think
on a honey
Indiana
farm.
Jones is a great guess.
Sperm donation factory.
Oh,
Right.
I mean, what other goo is there? Anyway, sorry. Is there a
Yeah.
vomitorium in his future? Yeah.
they did gross him up pretty good. Look at that.
Oh yeah, no, he just looks like.
And
he's,
each one of those is going septic because he's still covered in so much bacteria.
Yep. Now it's time to see the Hoda pen again.
This is when you figure out that his side chick is in on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because everybody's in on it.
Everybody is in on it. That's all my note says. This fight.
Oh.
Ah!
Do we have the time stab of like the world's lamest stab?
Okay. You mean like where she stabs him in the back?
It's like
Real fast?
tink.
Yeah, I think it's
Also,
like 8 seconds ago.
I had a problem here where like they're fighting and then she's like, can I have a glass of water? And he's like, oh, okay, I'll get you a glass of water. And it's like, no, dude, like you clearly can't trust her.
Yeah. And if she just spent a little bit more money to get a good kitchen knife, it would have sliced through the
Yeah.
tendons and most of his
No,
hand.
that is his,
A good
his
hand
hand,
of steel.
his hand wouldn't
Yeah.
just be like dripping blood here. Like it would
Right.
be that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, as we've discussed, Rob, I know you have like a Magnum with a Santa Claus outfit that you could rip out if need be. I have at least a rapier and maybe several lightsabers, but I don't know that those are lethal. I'm a long ways down the list before I'm going to kitchen knife. Let's see. We jump a while now, and they have to apologize. And maybe I do want babies, but no, I don't. But
Yeah, and she, she's like, no, I wasn't the one who did it, and
Yeah, and somehow, like he's gotten to the point where everyone in the world has double crossed him.
yeah,
And
except for
there's no reason to believe that she hasn't too, but he's just like, all right, whatever. I might as well believe you.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to stop here. Is that an air purifier or a trash can next to the TV?
It's a trash can.
I think it's a trash can. Look, he has one of those CD towers on the right. I mean, I love this apartment. It's bad.
2011.
Yeah, so this is the last confrontation. He's got the gun that he picked up off of, I don't know. I don't remember where he got it. I think he took it from him in the cabin.
Where they set up Chekhov's shells.
Mm-hmm. And shit goes bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang. Oh, wait, we gotta run it. There's nothing there, Chris.
Oh, well, I think I don't know what I was thinking.
All right, that's all right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, guess what? Everybody's horrible.
Yeah. And then they basically lay it out for you.
Up that pistol.
We are pleased to.
And they end on this stupid thing about how it's all about reputation.
Because it pulls it back to his annoying life
now,
as a recruiter.
Back at 134:22, when he jumps in the car with his wife, I thought for sure she was going to pull out a gun and shoot him. I thought, all right.
I was waiting for
cross, and then the security guard sits up, and he was just pretending to be dead the whole time. And those two take off together with Natasha, the Russian prostitute. And I was like, yes, but no,
bang, 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 bang.
I didn't enjoy this movie. I felt like the parts never congealed for me.
Yeah, I get that.
I thought this movie was fun.
Yeah. I thought it was okay. I do wish the dubbing was a little better.
Just subtitled.
Yeah, I probably should watch it subtitled.
It reminded me a lot of an outlandish Uncut Gems the whole time. I thought this whole movie is about this dude making his already shitty decisions way worse.
Mm-hmm.
The microscopic gel trackers for me was the part. If there was something that was a bridge too far, that was it for me.
Yeah, the gel trackers, I think I was already lost. Like, the movie had already lost me by the time they got to the gel trackers thing, because that just, I don't know. Like I said, I felt like they just had a bunch of random stuff and they were just drawn from the deck. But you don't put the cards in the discard pile. You take the old things and just slide them back in the middle of the deck, and then maybe you draw, gets in goo and changes clothes again.
Yeah. My only thing was nano GPS trackers. That still bugs me. That's all. As a nerd.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Really?
I thought it was his cover I thought was clever, and I can't remember another movie where I saw where a headhunter basically was also a criminal mastermind using his job to further his criminal enterprise.
Yeah,
so
that part I thought was cool. I thought it was going to go deeper in that vein.
But it didn't.
No, it doesn't really follow the catburgler thing. Mm-hmm. It follows the other thing.
For me, I thought maybe the fact that in the middle he sits in a bunch of shit and then drives around a tractor with a speared dog, I was like, all right, I'm willing to overlook any flaws in this movie now. This has thoroughly entertained me. I will never forget this scene. If anyone says to me, have you ever seen Headhunter? I'll be like, yes.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
That's the movie where the guy goes in the porta potty.
He drives around with a dog speared on the front of a tractor. And Lars and Gunnar are in it just for a little while. And I want to know their backstory. You're fantastic.
For me, I feel like this
Our
all came down to
beautiful boy.
casting. Like, if I would have cared one iota about the lead, and you can be a scuzzy guy and still have the audience like be interested in your story, but the guy never clicked for me. I didn't like him in the first scene, and it's not that I didn't like him as a character. I didn't like anything about him. I just didn't like the performance. I think that I never gave the movie a fair shake, probably because of that.
There was nothing endearing about him really at all. He was just always kind of whiny and shitty. I just thought I didn't like him because he was so short.
Yeah.
You know, just,
Like,
I looked at that.
man,
You know,
there's
I just-
one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
There's
made
one
me-
thing we
I
cannot
like him
stand.
a lot, but if you're south of 5'8", it's just
Yeah,
not. Yeah, it's never going to happen.
Sorry.
Honestly, once you dip under 6 feet, I begin to distrust you a little.
And are you really even a person? You know.
All right. No, Chris chose this one. Is this Nate's? No, this is Rob's turn.
Yeah.
It is my turn.
Excellent.
Okay, I'm
So-
standing by on the spreadsheet.
We're going back to the 80s, I assume.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
here's the thing. I really only have 3 other 80s movies on my list of movies that I liked when I was a kid, and I'm not sure they're all good. Pretty sure one isn't very good at all.
And that's the one you'll be watching this week.
That's the one we're going to watch last until we decide to go to another decade.
Okay.
The one we're going to watch next follows sort of the mystery theme that we've had so far. 1986's In the Name of the Rose.
Oh,
Virtual Echo.
It stars
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery
Mhm.
and Christian Slater.
Yeah, at the
And
height
Ron
of his
Perlman.
popularity.
Ron Perlman as the Hunchback.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
No, this is good. I want to see that. I've never seen
That's
that.
a great choice.
I
I
really liked this movie when I was a kid.
I
But I'm
Really?
not sure how well it will hold.
a few years back, and I only learned recently that they had ever made a movie out of it. So
I've actually heard
Puerto
that
Rico, right?
this is one of the few times I think that Sean Connery tries an accent. That's something I think that I heard about this one.
cool.
Yeah, I can't remember or not.
Yeah, no, and it's Umberto Eco was his first
Oh,
novel.
man.
That's when they turned into yeah, it's good. This is a great choice.
Excellent.
I look for thank you, Mr. Rose.
That'll be the week in between Christmas and New Year's.
That's right, it'll be the 30th. So.
All right. Well, folks, let's say goodbye. Fare thee well, Robert Roseboom.
Goodbye. Just for the record, I'm 6'4". So
Chris DeBona.
I'm depending on the day, either 6 feet or 6 feet and 1 inch. So
Nate Ostendorp.
6'2".
Woo, you sexy hunk of man meats.
All right, I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda. This has been episode 557 of Geeks in Space. I'm 6 foot tall even. I trust myself.